This week, we're headed to Guadeloupe in search of the world's best rum. But while we're getting poured up, the weather takes a turn for the worse. We're about to get caught on a dangerous lee shore that's going to do some damage to our boat and give us the mother of all hangovers. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Cheers, babes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
In a world where speed has been made a crime, one man dares to dream of going fast. Introducing Trim Daddy. Watch as he trims sails with ease, tacking and jibing effortlessly, and practicing the secret art of jib sheet kung fu.
It's all about the trimming, baby.
He's not your ordinary superhero. In fact, he might not be super at all. And what's a B-list superhero without his seasick sidekick? Drama Queen, the girl who only has two moods, sleepy or seasick.
Okay, now back to the show.
Look, we're nearly there. JK, when you're doing little jaunts like these between islands, like as soon as you take off, you can see the next island down there. That doesn't mean anything. We still got 10 hours to go.
We were on our way from Martinique to Guadeloupe to meet up with fellow cruisers Celine and Bruno. After that, we were headed to Antigua for a reunion with some of our college friends. It was a tight schedule, but we were so excited at the prospect of seeing all of our friends in our part of the world.
So we're on our way now. Right now I'm fake sailing. I've got the engine on, and that's because we're rounding the point at the top of Martinique, and so the winds are a little variable. And once we get out into open ocean, I'll just cut off the engine and go sails. It's pretty chill so far. No other boats, which I like, to be honest. Because let's be honest, our tacking isn't that good. Hey Claire, would you rate your ship out of 10?
Got many blends. 10.
You heard it here. 10 from Lambs. Sam out.
You cutting off the engine? Sam is attempting to signal that That is Dominica. Yeah, that's our rest stop for the night. Tomorrow we go to Guadeloupe. And we'll check Dominica on the way back down.
I want coffee. Look at that! What the heck? Hi, hello. It's day 2. We're leaving Dominica and we're heading to Marie-Galante. We had a last minute change of plans. We got some friends there, so we figure might as well just show up and where the party is.
These guys, their boat's name is Iceberg. It's a little dark.
Five knots upwind, not bad.
Hello there. We're coming into Marie-Galante. How did you turn yourself on?
Marie-Galante, a perfectly round biscuit of an island about the size of 30 football fields. Check it out. Marie-Galante used to run on sugar. The Spanish introduced sugarcane cultivation in the 17th century, and by 1818, Marie-Galante was known as the island of 100 windmills. Today, tourism has replaced sugar as the island's main economic driver, but the legacy of sugar lives on in the clear-cut fields, windmills, delicacies like glace à coco, and 3 of the best rum distilleries on planet Earth. Exploring the island, I couldn't help but notice how exposed to the elements we were. Marie-Galante is so flat that the palm trees are bent crooked by the trade winds. For the first time, I thought about the fact that we were in the center of the hurricane belt, on an island that had been hit several times. I started to notice how every house had reinforced their windows with wooden shutters. As beautiful as everything was, it was hard not to feel naked on this flat little rock, exposed for anything the weather has in store. So Sam is outside right now prepping the boat. We're anchored in Saint Louis, which is this big bay that's normally pretty well protected, but Windy is calling for the wind to be coming from the west, strangely enough, later today. So I'm really hoping our anchor is going to hold because everything's going to be backwards and our boats are going to be pushed towards the shore. Essa como I might need to take Dramamine on anchor. How far can we drag before we run aground?
Maybe 60 feet?
So, like 2 boat lengths?
Yeah.
Okay, should we prep the boat in case we have to move?
Sometimes I'm like, it's no big. And I look at that. How are we not? This anchor is backwards.
Wind is coming from the west. We are on a lee shore. At least it's a pretty sunset.
We slept in the cockpit that night, with alarms set every 30 minutes so we could check that we weren't dragging. Every time we woke up, we saw boats moving about, trying to reset their anchors in the dark. And we hoped to heck ours would hold. By sunrise, we were still in the same spot. Conditions had calmed enough for us to plan our next move. But pretty soon, it became obvious that something was very wrong with our boat.
What is that?
That was the sound of our troubles beginning. Turns out all that rocking and rolling had shaken something loose in our rigging. And while the sound itself was terrible, we also weren't sure whether it indicated that our mast wasn't being properly supported. So we headed to the next big marina in Pointe-à-Pitre in search of a rigging specialist. Good thing too, because as soon as we got into the marina, an even bigger problem presented itself.
I don't know why it's not turning over.
All of a sudden, our engine refused to turn on. With no rig and no engine, we were dead in the water. With no way to move our boat and just a few days left to get to Antigua to meet our friends, we felt defeated. Try as we might to fix our problems, we were running up against the limits of our DIY skills. Either we'd find technicians to help us, or we were going to have to cancel on all of our friends and figure out what our next move was. Nobody understands boat problems better than fellow cruisers. And Selena and Bruno knew just the place to bring us to try to get us out of our funk. Then came Monday morning, the day before we were supposed to leave. We had a big win when the rigger came by and announced that nothing more was needed than a retune. He fixed the problem and showed us how to do it ourselves in the future. And now, the moment of truth, the engine mechanic. He began by inspecting the engine from intake to exhaust, and he made some changes to how our raw water system was run. Finally, it was time to start her up. It worked. We were gonna make it to Antigua after all.